Hello and welcome everyone to the GTC IV Preview Show. Steve and George with you, the absolute dynamic duo of the GTC Tour. Self-proclaimed, of course. George, it's a big night because we are just a couple of weeks away from the biggest tournament of the year.
Yeah, we are. We're 2nd of Feb today. We go away in 2 weeks. Everyone's looking forward to it, I think. The chatter in the group chat is high at the moment. Higher than normal. Everyone's talking about where are we playing, who's going to win, what are we playing.
Well, we're playing golf. That's a simple one.
Some call it golf.
You were trying to obviously dive into what we're going to talk about tonight in terms of what type of golf, what type of competition we're playing. So obviously we'll get into all the details. You mentioned what courses we're playing, who's playing. Well, that one's a simple one because sort of we know who is in and around the GTC. The courses, as we've mentioned, who's favourite to win? I'd like to think that I'm going to be featuring prominently.
Oh, look,
in
I think
section.
there's one favourite, and I'm the favourite of the GTC.
Oh,
I might not win.
Oh, right.
But I'm a favourite of all in the GTC, I think.
And then, last but not least, which is the most exciting part, we do technology gets the arse. And we go old school because we determine the groupings via the European Champions League do it, the FIFA World Cup do it, the ping pong balls in the NBA draft lottery do it. They're not technologically savvy yet. It's basically balls in a hat, bit of paper in a hat for us, or a bit of paper in a bowl for us, and we determine the groupings.
Yep, and I think that's what everybody tunes in for in these videos, and I think we might try just draw it out a little bit. Keep people on edge. Go all Gillan McLaughlin style.
I was going to say Andrew Dimitriou.
Sydney C. Bolton, 3 votes. Oh. I'm doing round 2, apparently.
Okay, we have a little bit of a hiccup to start Brownlow Medal of 2008.
But Gillan McLaughlin is...
might do. Andrew Dillon.
Andrew Dillon, take notes. Take notes here. If you're on YouTube and you're looking for just a few pointers for the 2024 Brownlow Medal night, you found this man right here and take some notes. So, look, without further ado, let's jump straight into it. These are the details before we get into the courses, because we want to just, again, Dylan, take notes. We want to talk about what type of golf, what style of golf we're playing.
Yep, so this year...
Well, actually, you've brought up a good point. This is usually the weekend of the year that we're playing.
It is normally the weekend.
It's usually coming up right now.
We've usually teed off and everyone's either grumpy or happy on a Friday afternoon, or 6 of us normally are. We'll save that one for a little bit later.
Yes.
On the Friday afternoon. So we're 2 weeks late this year. Fortunately or unfortunately. Hopefully that means we get a nice weekend of weather. It would have been nice and hot down the beach this weekend.
Yeah, it would have been. Probably a good decision we did delay it by a couple of weeks because it was a scorcher on Sunday, isn't it?
Yeah, it's 38 degrees on Sunday. Watch it be 15 degrees and rainy when we go away. In any case, let's get to it. So this year, like last year, our overall competition for the weekend will be a stroke play over the 3 days. Now, again, like last year, you must play all 3 days to be eligible. And then there is one addition from last year. That's the penalty for our reigning champion. So, Craig, unfortunately, you'll be playing off 2 shots a day penalty, I believe it is. Mm-hmm. I think that's steep. So, hopefully the 3 months you spent in Europe haven't affected your golf game. Hopefully that, you can play like you played last year and make it a bit of a contest.
It's interesting. You've declared it steep. I'd love a head-to-head odds of Craig with his handicap and penalty versus you. You're going to say, it's too steep. He'll still probably beat you. So maybe not steep enough. You might be eating your words on Sunday evening after he's stitched you up still.
That's a possibility, but I'd cast everyone's mind back to 364 days ago. Saturday morning, afternoon at Eagle Ridge, I beat Craig. And then I fell to shit. But that's okay. Anyway, so we've got overall competition is stroke play, and then we have the individual competitions each day, which we're playing a Stableford round.
We've simplified that, haven't we? We obviously had the match play last year. Yes, it was a bit of fun. Yes, it did get a little bit confusing, and we tried to work out, there was 9 over here and 9 over there, and we had something else on the Sunday. We've just made it easy. Made it really simple.
It's correct. So every day, essentially, you're playing a stroke and Stableford round.
We're not saying that match play's dead, by the way.
No,
it might be an every
absolutely.
second year thing. Could be coming back next year.
Could be a Mornington Peninsula special down the match play Mornington.
You never know. You never know. Well, that's what we're playing. Let's look at where we're playing and when we're playing.
Yep. So
Friday, kick us off.
Friday, we're playing at the lovely Queenscliff Golf Club, also known as Swan Island. This one was first dropped to Steve and I down Monday at Lonsdale Links by a father and son we had the pleasure of playing with.
Mm-hmm.
It's a nice early tee time on the Friday. We'll be teeing off at 10:30, so set the alarms for 7 o'clock, jump in the car and head down the highway. And then Saturday, it's the best kept secret of the GTC. There'd be only a handful of people who don't know about it yet, but we're playing at Anglesey. Now, the Saturday round was a journey for us. We called many a golf course and had many a rejection. It was the people at... Who was it? I can't remember.
Portsea?
That wasn't Portsea. I didn't call Portsea to work on a play at Bellarine.
Well, I thought you did. Because then they said...
No.
They said go and play at Port. Or was it someone that said go and cross the boat and play at Portsea?
I suggested we cross the...
That was you being a larrikin.
Yeah.
Being a fan favourite.
That's right. Anyway, I called one of the courses and he suggested we go and play at the lovely Anglesey golf course. So we're playing at Anglesey on the Saturday, 12:32 tee off. So we get a bit of a sleep in, a bit of a breakfast. And
Different. First afternoon tea time for the GTC ever.
Is it?
I believe so.
So we get a real good sleep in. Big night on the Saturday, fellas.
The history books tell us, it's right in front of me, that this is the first afternoon tea time of the GTC tours.
There you go. 12:32. Don't be late.
You've done well too, because you probably stitched yourself up there. I would have made this out and said, we were offered a plethora of options because we were in demand, and we had to knock back, the places like 13th Beach because they had the Vic Open. We're a bit above them. And then Lonsdale Links came calling, and we said, I'm not sure you're quite there yet. Yes, you've just got into the top 20 courses in Australia, but you're not top 10, are you? So, let's work on that before you bring the GTC along. Okay, we'll go to Anglesey. They've probably paid the most dollars for us. There's the commercial sponsorship. But no, we've gone the opposite. We couldn't get on.
We could get on nowhere. The best we could get was a split tee time. It was a 12:30 and
an early morning.
And an early morning tee time. So we went with Anglesey on Saturday, and then to finish off the Championship Sunday, we're playing at Curlewis with an 8:12 tee off. So it's an early one, so we can get back home, see the family, and maybe celebrate a win for one of us.
And I've just realised, I think there's another competition that's probably taken our idea of 3 rounds, 54 holes, if you'd like to call it. I feel as though there's something that's newer than the GTC that's stolen sort of our theory, the way we play. I don't know if you've heard of it. I think it's LIV or something rather that, but it's going around the traps at the moment. I reckon they've seen our presentations, they've seen our strategic documents, and they've gone, guys, this could go global. Let's make it ourselves.
We are now proclaiming ourselves as the originators of LIV.
I
think Greg Norman, you'll be getting a phone call.
I'd be putting that down. But anyhow, moving on, because we've spent far too long on pumping our own tyres up, which is exactly what we usually do. Friday, Queenscliff, Swan Island, as you've mentioned, as it's also called, there's 7 of us. We've had an addition. Usually it's 6, and it's unbelievable. Breaking news, Alex Hondo is taking a day off work.
I was shocked when I heard the news. I think if you watch the one of the recap videos of last year, he was a bit bitter, according to Rongy on the drive up, that he wasn't eligible to win. And then I think, as the quote goes, then he played like shit. But that's okay. This year he's coming up on the Friday, so he's got no excuse. Everyone expects him to take home the white cap and the trophy at the end of the weekend.
Yes.
Reclaim the white cap and the trophy after 54 holes of golf.
Mm-hmm. Our 2022 winner, of course, in Alex Hondo. But he's got to get through the Australian Defence Force to begin with, because that is how you're getting on to the Queenscliff Golf Club. There's only a small single-car bridge. You've got to be playing. So if you're wanting to come down and watch the GTC Tour on Friday, I'm sorry you can't, because we're playing in such a pristine and shut off. It's a very, very serious golf course, and we're not taking visitors. So no fans. No fans on the Friday. But
if you do want to watch, stay tuned for the recap video.
Oh, of course. It's going to come later on. But in the meantime, what are we going to look out for on Swan Island? What are some of the key holes?
Look, my job and my contribution to the fellas, I had to go find, what are the holes we're looking forward to? So I picked 3 at Swan Island. The first one's the third. It's the first par 3 of the day. And you can count yourself lucky we're not playing off the back markers. Let me tell you. There's danger everywhere here. And it might be worth some of us laying up short and then just, bump and run, as Rick would say, onto the green, and maybe you can run away with the par. The next one's the 6th. That's a signature hole at Swan Island. Now, you can take in the magnificent views of the bay and then pray you hit a good tee shot or hit a good drive. And it's a long hole. It's a really long hole. No half swings, mate. You're really going to have to hit this one hard. Could
be going right by the sound of things.
And then the last one to wrap us up is the 14th. Now, this is the last of 3 holes. They dub Amen Corner.
Oh, Masters.
Yes. It's a 167 metre par 3 and it'll test a lot of us. Don't go left and don't go right. You'll be looking for your ball all night.
Oh, I see what we did there. We're playing in the afternoon, though. Are we going to be spending that long looking for the balls?
Yeah.
Wow,
we might put the timer on. What's the timer at?
3 minutes.
3 minutes. 3 minutes by 8. We'll be done in half an hour.
Well, we move forward to Saturday, and obviously the big news is Anglesey Golf Club. And it's the first time that all 8 of us will head down and take part for the competition of GTC IV, and it's basically all about the kangaroos. Anglesey is well known to have an absolute plethora of kangaroos, and I'm very much looking forward to it. And I think we've had our own historical practice for Anglesey at Yarrambat, and we've even had a review at Yarrambat, which you can check out on the channel. But roos everywhere.
Yep, kanga.
Oh goodness me! Let's look through 3 feature holes.
Yep, so 3 feature holes. We got the second. It's the second par 5 of the day. So we start off with 2 par 5s. That's going to be interesting. I don't really know much about this one. The flyovers did me no favours, put it that way. And he's really sticking a fork in a few of us early after 2 par 5s. So this one will be a ride.
We've got a couple on the back 9.
Yep. So the first one, not the first hole on the back 9, it's the 13th. It's the easiest hole on the golf course. A small green that slopes away from you, so it might be worth a club down so you don't let the ball run over the back.
Mm-hmm.
After some of the stuff I've seen of this course so far, this will be a very welcome hole for most of us.
Could be running
all of us.
Could be running up a high score by hole 14. So where are we at by the last?
By the last, you're making your trip back up to the members, back up to the clubhouse, and they'll all be watching you. This is a par 5. It's a straight hole, and it'll suck you in. Really suck you in. And then you're graded with a 4-tiered green, so you pray that you land on the right tier. So you really need to get inventive and make sure your short game's dialed in.
And then if we're 36 holes deep into the tour, I probably am sitting second. You're probably sitting somewhere in the back half. We round up on Championship Sunday at Curlewis, which is a course I'm very much looking forward to playing. I know I drive past it a lot when I'm visiting some family down the Ballerine, and it looks a picture. So I'm very much looking forward to it. And I don't know, maybe just a couple of birdies at Curlewis could be the idea. Not necessarily just myself, I'm saying throughout the entire group.
Look, I think you're not far off it. We could be birdie hunting at Curlewis. There is a number of short holes on offer, or shorter holes.
Wow.
Maybe an eagle.
Wow.
Maybe an eagle.
Okay. Wow.
If you're good enough.
That sounds very enticing. Is there any holes in particular we can look into?
Well, we've got 3.
Okay.
So the first one is the first. It's a nice hole to start your Sunday morning. There's a bit of water and there's a bit of sand, but it's definitely a scoreable par 4 for everyone if you can avoid the trouble. So don't be afraid to lay up. Back your strengths on this one and start your morning off right. Then we've got the 9th. That's the signature hole here. So the bunkers will catch any tee shots that dribble right. And if you're too long, like the big fella, Hondo,
wow,
the big drive hitter, who may be a favourite later in the video for our longest drive competition.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're too long, you'll end up in the water. The green's a tricky one, so don't let your rumbling stomach get the better of you through 9 before you hit the turn.
Okay, anything on the back 9?
We got one on the back 9. It's a 12th. If 9 was a signature hole, this one gives you the best views in the region. You're up high, you're aiming down low at the green. This hole, this hole will deliver some low scores and it will deliver some really horrible scores, I think.
Looking forward to that one. And hopefully we can check out our live leaderboard on Golf Gamebook.
Oh.
And I'm somewhere near the pointy end.
I won't be. I'll be, by the 12th. I could go for an eagle on the 12th. my weekend will likely be over by that point.
So he's playing hole by hole just for some glory.
Yep.
Big shout out to Golf Gamebook, mind you. This man right here knows them very well after numerous emails, has been chomping at the bit for them to
Add a tournament
to
mode.
turn a tournament mode on. We've finally got it, so we can add multiple rounds. We can check out the Stableford score for the day. We can check out the stroke play score for the overall weekend. And this is what they're playing for. The granddaddy of them all, the WrestleMania of GTC, it is the Shield.
It is the Shield. We've got, obviously, as you mentioned earlier, our reigning champion, old Crago. Can he defend his title?
Oh, well, look.
In a word?
I'd say no. If we're going one word,
Cop that, Craig.
it's no. He probably hasn't given himself every opportunity for it, mind you, which I think we'll go into very, very shortly. But yeah, he'd be struggling.
Yeah,
especially with your steep penalty.
Well, it's going to take an effort. How many blokes win tournaments by 6 strokes?
On GTC, he probably won by 6 last year. And it was the first time ever we had this sort of...
Yeah, but I think last year everyone got sucked into the match play.
Okay.
I don't think it really counted last year, Craig.
Didn't count. There's a quote. Could be going on challenging Kane Corns for the volcano. How's that? We need a new name for the seraphim something. I don't know. Let's look at the form guide. We touched on Craig Freeman. He's obviously in the out of form. I may as well send to you for the inform.
So the form guide was done by Steve. I'll take that caveat. So he's taken himself as the number one inform player. He's played the most rounds out of the lot of us. He's probably played more rounds than all of us combined in the last 4 months.
That'd be right.
But he's done that every year.
Mm.
And he's yet to win anything. I think he was the day 2 leader in GTC 2. And he was let down by his...
Yes. Yep, let down by my partner. When we had a Stableford multiplier on the final day, that stitched me up a beauty.
Shall remain nameless.
Yes. Probably choked it a bit. When we had the one-day comp in GTC 1, I probably choked it a bit on the final few holes at Cape Shank.
Yeah, Kyle cleaned us up on that day.
Got the better of me. And last year I was clearly out-dueled by a better golfer.
That was probably some of the best golf we've seen on the tour. Mm-hmm. Next in form is Big Hondo. Now, he's found a secret golf course that he's
been found out here.
He has been found out. He thought he could go down and practice on his own. Until he bumped into Kyle.
Paparazzi arrived and a few pickies and a few snaps and bang, got him. Number three. Speaking of is Kyle. Now Kyle's a sneaky. I think he's a little bit low here at number 3. Okay.
He's a very good golfer, Kyle.
High handicap.
Unassuming golfer. Doesn't wear a glove. Gloveless Kyle.
There's a stat.
There is a stat. Quick fact. Doesn't wear a glove. Let's all play like Kyle. Gloves off for Kyle. So Kyle's our number 3 favourite. I reckon he should be a little bit higher.
Had to quickly whip out a few rounds in January too because his future golf was expiring to roll over and he hadn't used all his vouchers. Moving into the out of form, so therefore it's the number 6th in form player or the 3rd most out of form player is Dezards. WNBL GOAT. He recently played a round of scramble with you and turned out it was the best thing since sliced bread.
We did. I really enjoyed that day. We played a hit out at Gardener's Run. We played well. I reckon we probably got stitched up. We think we finished even par for the day. Handicap was probably a little bit too low for us, but anyway. Dean's number 6.
Craig Freeman, we mentioned his lead up to the trip. He obviously ventured and jetted off to Europe. We thought, well, he won the GTC, probably earned himself a tour card to the DP World Tour. Wasn't the case. He actually just went on holiday.
No, gallivanting Europe.
The DP World Tour said, I'm sorry, who are you? Denied. We're going to have to sort of prop the GTC Tour up a little bit extra to try and get these sort of tour cards.
Need to play for tour points.
And has then come back and has struggled to find his way to a golf course. So
he's gotten 1 round in, I think, since he's come back. So hopefully he can sneak up another couple more in before we get away and find that rich form that he was in last year.
Agreed. And then the most out of form player is Stephen Wright. And he goes, wait, there's a golf trip in a couple of weeks?
The golf trip.
So
we had a sighting though. When did we play at Yarrambat? 2 months ago?
Yarrambat. It was Yarrambat. I beg your pardon.
He was hitting them well.
He was. Maybe he's too low. Maybe he's
the one that should be a little bit higher.
That's interesting. Okay, let's look at the odds. This is for the whole kit and caboodle, the GTC odds. We won't go too in-depth into these because we know we're running short on this program's time. And, well, there they are. There's a clear front runner.
$51.
Yeah, the bookies don't like you. And it's
Let me remind you, the last time the bookies didn't like me, I was paying $501 to win a fantasy competition. I took it home.
well, it's interesting because Craig is the second outsider, and he has a steep handicap. So I'd love, as I said earlier in the program, I would love to see a head-to-head market. His golf game, including penalty versus you, it could be very, very close at the end of Sunday. I
don't want to finish last.
Let's look at the longest drive. This is obviously for any day. We've got the three big dogs up the top, and, well, this guy at the very top, he only arrived last year and nearly cleaned up.
He did arrive last year. I reckon he pipped me twice, the big fella. So
Pipped. We'll use that word, just pip.
he pipped me, just got me.
Just.
I think he hit on the down breeze. Big Lanzoni's our favourite, and I think he's going to be hard to beat.
And then finally, closest to pin, any day.
$51 again.
Well, what's your par 3 history?
Terrible, but that's not the point. I'm a value. Value.
There you go. You've heard it here. Value. G. Seraphim. The big time. All right, we're gonna whiz through this because we're running short on time. Fat Perez, just a quick shout out. He's jumped on and said g'day, and he's basically our ambassador, unofficial ambassador for the groupings. So a big shout out to him. Clearly a fan of the GTC, as it says on screen right there.
We've taken a bit of a backward step here. We had Tiger Woods last year.
Well, we did, but what's Tiger done the last year that Fat Perez hasn't? I reckon Fat Perez's FP's probably been on more TV screens and computer screens than
Tiger.
old Tiger.
Tiger broke the internet when he left Nike and joined the GTC.
Oh, mate,
Could you imagine?
wouldn't that be a thing? All right, let's jump into it. Okay, so we've got 2 days to do here because the final day is going to be strategically placed with the current live positions.
Correct. Yeah,
Okay.
we'll sort the groups out to garner the most interest and make the day enjoyable for everybody.
Correct. So this is for the Friday at Swan Island. We're pulling 4 names out, and this is Group 1.
We go on Group 4 first.
Yes.
So, playing in the first group and teeing off first,
Teeing off first.
in front of 6 others on the Friday, is Kyle.
K-Mac. Okay, joining Kyle
My
in
favourite
Group 1.
for the weekend.
Your favourite. Interesting.
Oop, oop, oop.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Shambles. Put them both
Oh,
back.
no.
Let's go again.
Nah, I'm taking this one out. Hopefully it's Jax. You won't be happy with it. Steve-O.
Oh, there we go. Group 1. Don't mind Group 1.
Group 1.
In and out. It's like first group of PGA Tour.
Dino.
There you go. It's turning into a good group already. Strong group. Dino's the match play winner.
Couple of former winners and 2 former winners so far and 1 former.
And a big loser.
Wrongy. Not playing on Friday. Dipshit
Okay,
Wrongy.
and to round out the group.
Round out the group. Lanzoni.
There we
Big
go.
Lanzoni. Gee, that's going to be a good group.
Good group. So that means in Group 2, we've got George, Craig,
And Hondo.
and Hondo.
So the 3 plotters.
The 3 plotters. There we go. Okay, let's pop all these back in.
We have to work out a tee-off order.
Oh, do we?
Well, we may as well.
Okay.
We've gone this far.
Yeah, no, that's
So
fair
teeing
enough.
off first in Group 2. Craigo. Show us what you got, brother. Let's go down there. Goes here.
I'm glad you know what's going on in this rodeo.
And then Hondo will be teeing off second, which leaves me last. Gee, you'd almost think I fixed it.
Okay, there you go.
So let's fold these
Has
back
this one
up.
been frozen, or has this got a big red dot on it or something?
It's got a different tear in it, actually.
Oh, terrible.
All right, so it's not Saturday morning, it's Saturday afternoon.
We are back. The first afternoon tee time of the GTC Tour. Group number 1.
Group number 1, tee off number 1. Oh. He tees off in Group 2 on Friday. He tees off first on
Hondo.
Saturday. Alex Hondo.
Okay.
Teeing off alongside him. You'll also be partnering in the carts, I think. We'll go 1 and 2, 3 and 4.
Yep. That's fair.
Oh, playing with Hondo. I'm Group 1.
There you go.
I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
Bring out the best of you. He's a good coach for you. I've heard
That's
many
true.
a times.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Playing alongside us, Ronnie. And
The final member of Group 1
the final member in Group 1.
down at Anglesey Golf Club
is Craigo.
Craig. Okay, so that would leave
It leaves the same 4 playing together on
myself,
on
Kyle,
the Saturday.
Dean, and Lanzoni.
Again,
So we've got this.
we're playing in the same group. Gee, we'd never do that again. Actually, I reckon we picked out Ronnie too.
Yeah, we did too.
No, we did. We picked him out 4th. Anyway,
Anywho, play on.
so playing in Group 2, teeing off first, Kyle. Can't make this up.
Partnering in the cart with Kyle.
Steve, gee, we really can't
Did
make
you
this
just
up.
put... Are you pulling the exact same order here?
We've recorded this twice, just to be sure, as in consecutively. Now, if this is... Yeah, let's just open it up. Oh, Jesus, you can't make it up. It's Dean.
And that leaves
And that leaves Big Jack Lanzoni
Lanzoni again.
as our 4th. There may be uproar on the back of this.
So we're Group 2 on the Saturday, but we're Group 1 on the Friday.
Correct.
Okay,
And
so
you're
that...
sharing the same cards with the same people.
Oh, wow. And we really... Geez, we've really balled that up, haven't we?
We may need to go for... If there is uproar, we will go for a redraw. We will appreciate technology.
Yeah,
We'll see where it lands.
We will use technological advancements if the group decides that that's not the best.
Not in the interest of golf.
Not in the interest of friendship, sharing the experience together. George has done an absolute number on himself here.
We couldn't do it if we tried.
No, we couldn't have.
And everyone thinks we fix it.
That's ridiculous. Anyhow, that is it. GTC 4 around the corner. We don't want to be here any longer. We will see you on the first tee at Swan Island or Queenscliff. All the best.
Don't be late.
Where does this go on YouTube or something?
Oh.